Cost of living is one of the most subtly evil phrases to ever enter our lexicon. The cost of living. The phrase is so normalized we don't even hear how dystopian it sounds anymore. It implies, by default, in our current system, nobody inherently deserves to live. You can quite literally be priced out of life. Even the question, how do you earn a living, implies that a living is something you have to earn. Have to earn the right to exist says who? What do you mean, those at the top? The ones benefiting from the system? The ones that set up the system? The ones that hoard all their wealth while the rest of us fight for scraps just to survive? Who decided that unless you generate a profit for shareholders and your boss, you don't deserve housing, food, or healthcare? That's what the system is saying. If you don't increase shareholder value, you die. And if you fall behind, that's your own personal failure, instead of a very predictable outcome from a system that's designed to keep people stressed, exhausted, and broke. People hear that and go, well, that's life. No, it's not. This is a system that we created. Money isn't naturally occurring like oxygen or gravity. We invented money. It's all fake. Pieces of paper or a number on a screen. It's not real. Money only has value because we say it does. If we all collectively decided tomorrow that money is worthless, it would just become worthless immediately. I don't think people fully grasp this concept. We all as a collective are just agreeing that a piece of paper with the number 100 on it actually is valuable. It's all pretend. But it has real world impacts. People die over this. People freeze to death while cities have empty homes. People starve to death while supermarkets throw away excess food. People work 60 hours a week and still can't afford to live. Then we're told there's not enough money for healthcare, housing, education, raising wages, while they launch themselves into space for fun. We don't need to live like this. This isn't a system that's fixed in place, set up by design to be this cruel. It's intentional. Capitalism only works when there's a threat of homelessness, when there's a threat of death. People can't organize a revolution when they're too tired and hungry from working 60 hours a week. If people weren't afraid of losing everything, they wouldn't tolerate being exploited. They literally don't have the energy to question the system that's taking advantage of them. Once again, this is by design. Before anyone tries to twist my words, I'm not saying everyone should just magically get everything for free. It's incomprehensible to me that in the richest era in human history, people have to earn the right to live. Nobody should ever have to justify their existence through productivity. We shouldn't even be discussing the cost of living. Human beings should just be allowed to live. I feel like I'm going insane. How is this not the baseline standard of our society? Under capitalism, everything has to have a cost because someone needs to make a profit. That is not human nature.
Is it just me, or is this inflation getting out of hand? I mean, everything's gone up. Beef prices, your rent, your insurance, your property taxes, everything's went up except your pay.
As a Londoner living in the US, this is the greediest country I have ever lived in. So here's a list of things I've had to pay for which make no sense and would send the European mind into absolute psychosis. Let's kick it off strong with number one. I pay processing fees for my rent. I pay my rent and then I pay $6 to process my rent. Why am I paying you money to take my money? Now the next thing is I didn't realize how expensive healthcare actually is. But one day I had a really bad toothache and I went to the emergency room. First mistake. They scanned my insurance card, put me in a queue, and when I finally get to see a doctor, he looks at my tooth and says, yeah, we can't actually help you. You need to go see a dentist tomorrow morning. I said, cool. 2 weeks go by, I get my bill. $600. Luckily, I had insurance, so I paid $120. But think about this for a second. I paid $120 for a doctor to tell me he can't help me. Now, this one takes me off beyond my imagination. I stayed at the Intercontinental Hotel in Chicago, stayed there for 2 nights for around $200 a night, plus I paid for valet parking. But when I got my bill, the numbers just weren't adding up. On top of all the money and taxes I paid, they still charged me a $32 resort fee. What is a resort fee? And when I'm asking the receptionist what is a resort fee, nobody can answer my question. And what's even worse is it's not a flat fee, it's $32 per night. The next one was kind of annoying. I got my car towed, $350. Pro tip, do not let your car stay there overnight. Now the next one is tip culture, and since living here I've learned to leave a 10% tip. But think about this for a second. Your boss is so greedy that he doesn't pay you not a livable wage, doesn't pay you a survivable wage, then guilt trips us, his customers, into covering the rest of your wage for you. The level of greed you need to have to even think of that concept is literally something only Mr.
Time soon.
Man, before you think about moving from down south to wherever you going, I advise you go look at the cost of living, wherever it is at. Like, bro, people will think, man, I can go, to this other place and make $20 an hour, and shit, I'll be good, you feel me? But man, $20 an hour down south and then you going somewhere like up north or wherever you going, man, that's 2 different $20 an hour. Like, bro, you can actually live in Mississippi with $20 an hour. You might need to make a little bit more, but you can still live. Or man, go somewhere else. You ain't gonna be able to do shit with that 20, I'm telling you. Like, bro, you gonna at least need to be looking for $30 an hour. At least, if you moving, from down here to up somewhere else. Bro, the only way you gonna make it off the pay rates they pay around here somewhere else is if you stand in the hood, wherever you going, like We went to Fort Worth, Texas, man. We were paying $900 rent. Man, it was just too much going on, bro. But yeah, man, before you move, man, look at the cost of living.
Every time I think about or trying to move out my parents' house, the cost of living just get higher and higher. Like, insurance goes up, gas goes up, not to mention the fact that you got to make 3 times the rent of wherever you live at, which is kind of insane because the average person my age ain't even making what I'm making. Not to mention the fact that I check my pay stubs all the time. I'm not making as nearly as what I would make if they ain't take all them fucking taxes out of my checks every 2 weeks. Like, and I just been sitting here thinking, like, cause with me personally, when I moved out, I always wanted to move out by myself or with a significant other. And now I'm starting to realize when people move out, they get roommates. Or they move in college apartments with other people that they don't even fucking know of because the cost of living is too fucking high. How can I get a house these days? How can I get a house, bro? The average house is like 300 bands, you know what I'm saying? And like the average like monthly cost of it is like $2,500 a month. Like that's crazy. Like, and me personally, I never agreed with having to have more than one source of income. In my opinion, you having more than one source of income should be a choice. It shouldn't be, I shouldn't need 2 sources of income to fucking survive. I'm 23, bruh. God damn. I am fucking 23. And I'm already like having a midlife crisis for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to move out my parents' crib, but I ain't trying to live check to fucking check. Like, I'm sitting here making more money than I ever made ever in my life in a year span. And it's still not enough for me to fucking move out and be able to fucking sustain a living. Like, we're doomed, bro. And they wait until we get grown to do shit like this. Like, yeah, it's over with, bro. It's over with.
So my rent is close to $2,000. Food cost is going up. I just filled up my gas tank. It was like $48. My car payment's close to $500. My insurance is between 1 and 2. My light bill's about 2 something. My internet's 100 and something. My phone bill's about close to 100. But yet, $45,000 is too much for a single person in income. Are you kidding me? Like, at this point, I just want to live in my car for like 6 months and save money. Is anybody else struggling? Like, damn, Craig, it's not that I ain't got no money. It's not that I ain't got no money. Everything's so fucking expensive. Like we have to pay to live. Not even our water's free. Unless you want to drink sink water. Ain't nobody telling if that shit's clean. It's not clean. It's not purified.
This economy is some bullshit. And I know it's some bullshit because I remember when I was in high school, I took a personal finance class. And one of our assignments was we had to find a career we wanted, right? We had to go on Indeed or a job website and find like a wage, a salary, whatever for that job, right? Then with that salary, we had to find a house that we could afford and a car that we could afford, right? I don't remember what career, whatever that I picked, but I know it was around making like $80,000 a year. I was able to have that career, have a nice car, and a nice house and still be chilling. I don't think people understand how out of hand the cost of living is. For a long time, a brand new car was gonna run you between 20 to 25 stacks. Them luxury BMWs, Mercedes, whatever, that'll run you about 30. You know what I'm saying? Them nice Altimas, Camrys, and all this and all that. Brand new, them things used to be about 15 or 18 stacks.
Millions are secretly walking away from this economy because they don't understand it. They don't get the cost of living being so high. Prices steady increasing. They just don't have time to figure it out anymore. So they're just quietly walking away in peace. They're giving up, trying to just get to the bottom of this. Because when it seems like someone wants to have a voice, nobody wants to listen. So that's why they're walking away. In reality, can you really blame them? With all this that's going on, gas is steady skyrocketing. Grocery prices are getting more expensive. And remember, they used to say going to the grocery store would be cheaper. But in reality, it's not cheaper. It's starting to become more. It doesn't make sense. And they're starting to realize that something's been off with this economy for a long time. And they're just walking away from it. They walking away from their jobs. They walking away from their bills. And they walking away from everything in general. Even phony relationships with their so-called friends that only wants to be a friend when it's convenient for them. They're fed up with all this. And it's only going to get a lot worse. And people are just crashing out everywhere. You can see their anger and their frustrations in their face. And they really don't even have to explain anything. Because when you see somebody that's upset and they just mad at the world, that can be the reason why. I bet you that's mainly the reason why, in my opinion. And then it's like people have problems after problems. And they want their problems to go away. But it seems like that's hard for their problems to go away. And that's the crazy part. So that's why people are just quietly walking away. Millions of people. I never thought it would be this much people walking away. It's a lot. They don't even want to stay in a house anymore. And then everything is just going up, but your pay. And people are tired of trying to find a solution to why everything is so high, because it seems like they can't get a valid reason. And that's the sad part. So if you really can't get a valid reason why the cost of living is just increasing, you start to realize that it seems like it's an excuse. And people are starting to believe that because it don't make sense in this world. The world gets crazier every day. Things that you never thought you would see, you're seeing it now. And you can't believe what you're seeing. So that's why millions are quietly walking away. And let me know how you feel about this situation. Do you feel like it's going to get better? Or you feel like it's going to get worse in less than 2 years? I want to know what's y'all take on that. And that's my take on this situation. It's horrible. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.